New leaked photo of Gervonta Tank Davis and his trainer, Calvin Ford. Slow it down, I just dissed you. I said brand new clips of Gervonta Tank Davis and his trainer, Calvin Ford. But wait, there's more. Now, I gotta make this video, Ego Thoughts. We back to the basics on the channel. If you dig it, hit the like button, drop me a comment. Let's work. The reason I'm making this video is because there was this notion, this rumor, an upheaval online recently about Gervonta Davis, and we now know this to be a lie. They said that Gervonta Davis and Calvin Ford have split up, but this new photo has emerged online. Tank doesn't even have his fight announced. Rumor had it that he was going to fight December 14th. We now know that date is not an active date. They had venue issues, right? And now we're waiting to hear what is next for Gervonta Davis and when. It's looking like the top of 2025, right? But there's this rumor circulating that Tank Davis and Calvin Ford were beefing or no longer together as trainer and student. And you never seen Boxing Ego make a video about that. I tell you guys, I think some people, they think I'm saying this to be braggadocious, to gloat, to just talk. I don't know. But when I tell you I'm the best in the business and it's not even close, you gotta believe me. When I tell you there is a lot of low quality video, audio, like just bad audio, distorted audio, cheap product, right? In the world of boxing and content creation in the boxing space. Clickbait, information you can't trust. You gotta believe me. And this is another one of those instances. How do we go from hearing that Tank is no longer with Calvin Ford? Mind you, Tank has always looked up to Calvin Ford as almost like a father figure, coming from the hard streets of Baltimore, seeing people in his gym either go to jail or lose their life and different things like that. And Calvin Ford, being older than him, was always kind of like a mentor and slash a father, not just a trainer. Tank Davis has always said that. So again, you didn't hear me make no videos about it because I didn't hear no information. Now, I'm not saying that a fighter who seemingly has a good relationship with a trainer can't ever go their separate ways, right? We've seen it with Errol Spence and Derrick James, where it looked like they had an unshakable bond, but then money or whatever came between them, and then it looks like Errol Spence is going to come back with a new trainer, right? So it does happen. But where is this information coming from when it comes to Tank? And I told you, there's a lot of low quality information and content being produced in boxing, and I'm blaming you, the fans. If you listen to that, if you support that, then you're just supporting blasphemy and poppycock and inaccurate information. So the more you do that, and the more you subscribe or listen or give your attention, time, and viewership to anything like that, you're actively hurting the sport. Why would you want to actively hurt the sport that you allegedly love? You know, just because people are thirsty and starving for clicks and views. So there's all these sensationalized titles that have no merit behind them. And this keeps happening. I told you, particularly with Gervonta Davis, where you'll hear all these sensationalized storylines. Tank Davis is fighting Campbell Hatton. He's fighting Abner Mares. All these rumors, and then come to find out he's not fighting any of them. I remember people said that after El Rayo beat Chris Colbert by knockout, people said Tank likes to fight flat-footed Latino fighters, so he's fighting El Rayo next, right? They just guessed and assumed that coming off a big win, that would be Tank's next fight. And then they had this pre-built narrative. He likes to fight only Latino fighters or guys who are flat-footed, right? They also said that Tank don't want to fight black fighters, slick black fighters, right? Fast forward to the future, his very next announced fight was what? Not a Latino fighter who's flat-footed, but it was in fact a black fighter with a level of slickness, athleticism, and just overall talent in a southpaw in Frank Martin. So you have people who have the worst batting average alive, right? You have people like, let's say they say 60 things. They're like 0-60. And you mean to tell me that you would even trust anything coming from that? Like, oh, Tank is fighting Abner Mares. Wrong. Tank's fighting El Rayo. Wrong. Tank's fighting against Campbell Hatton. Wrong. Tank Davis and Calvin Ford split. Wrong. I mean, how many things does one have to get wrong before you guys tune out? That's all I want to know. Because over here, I'm going to keep lacing y'all with boxing news, the details 24/7, because I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. But it's just looking crazy. It's looking real bad. And this doesn't help the sport of boxing grow when you have people just making up stuff and lying and, you know, just embellishing or whatever the case is to try to make content. You know, we're hearing so much of it, who Tank's fighting, and people, and it's to the point where Tank gets so much hate, it won't even be confirmed by Tank, and people start hating on it already. Like, there was rumors he was going to fight Lamont Roach, and this was before the fight was ever even announced, before Tank put a flyer up, and people start bashing the fight, and it wasn't even an announced fight. It still isn't formally announced either, and people still hating. You know, so again, be cautious. I never doubted the relationship between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Again, now you guys understand when people in my comment section leave stupid comments like, oh, Ego, make a video about this, make a video about this. But the only problem is this is a lie. So why would I make a video about that? Right? It just doesn't make any sense. So I see everything in my sport. I know everything that's going on at all times. I'm tapped in. Either I seen it with my own eyes, I know someone who knows somebody, or fans send me stuff. So if it's real and it's legit and it's big news in the sport of boxing, trust me, you don't have to worry about Ego being informed, right? So there's a reason. If I don't, again, people have come to witness and notice this on the channel. If your boy Ego hasn't made a video about it, there's usually a reason for it. So when people are advocating for this or announcing fights or saying Tank and Calvin Ford are no longer working together and your boy Ego hasn't made a video about it, again, there's a reason for it. So don't ask me to make videos about false news. It's up to you to inform yourself and know what's going on in the sport of boxing and fake news. Don't ever ask to waste my time by making fake videos about fake topics. You dig?